A fellowship applies directly to cover tuition and associated fees, a stipend for living and academic expenses. In today's video, we are looking at the Knight Hennessy Scholars Program, which is a scholarship for graduate students, PhD and masters at Stanford University, the well-known university, highly ranked university. Okay, so let's look at the financial support for the cost of attendance. If you get to be lucky for this scholarship, if you get to be selected for this scholarship, so the Knight Hennessy Scholars receive funding for up to 3 years for any graduate degree or degrees at Stanford. This funding applies to degrees to which scholars are preparing to enroll at the time of scholars selection. During each of the first 3 years of graduate study, Knight Hennessy Scholars receive several types of funding. A fellowship applies directly to cover tuition and associated fees, a stipend for living and academic expenses, such as room and board, books, academic supplies, instructional materials, local transportation, and reasonable personal expenses. A travel stipend intended to cover an economy class ticket for one annual travel to and from Stanford. Additional funding specific to certain years. Now, newly enrolled scholars receive one-time relocation stipend intended to offset some of the costs associated with relocation to the area and/or technology purchases. Scholars in their second and third year may apply for supplementary funds to support academic enrichment activities, example, conference travel. So it means that if you're already at Stanford, you can still apply for this opportunity. Okay, so before we finish it up, if you are new to this channel, remember that this is not just the only video. We have uploaded the number of videos, and sorry for disturbing you, for taking your time. This is the YouTube channel. Welcome, and these are the things I do for students. I have evergreen videos here, meaning videos you can always come back and watch. Okay, like this, getting 10 admissions plus and scholarship with Apply Board. Okay, some scholarship, some of the videos here are time sensitive. I can understand that. So I have uploaded so many videos here already, which I will encourage you for you to look at again. Don't just look at this, just this video now I'm recording. Okay, we have about 149 videos, and this is inclusive of the shorts as well, which are also important. And you can just go to a playlist, which helps you a lot. Okay, like playlist, I have a full playlist here, view full playlist, view free full playlist. You see, most of my videos are a playlist, so it helps you a lot. Okay, guys, so don't just look at this video. So many videos here already, so many videos I have uploaded. So welcome to the family. If you're new, and even if you have been here, maybe you have missed some videos, which maybe it's important you look at them as well. Okay, and don't forget to share this video with your colleagues or family members who are interested. So let's go back to the video for today. Let's just complete this one because I don't want to take your time. So the Knight Hennessy Scholars provides funding for the degree program listed in the initial KHS, that means Knight Hennessy Scholars admission letter. So of course you have to apply to the university, and each program has its own criteria. Of course, we have the admission criteria, which are general, then program specific criteria as well. Okay, and it's competitive for you even to be admitted to Stanford University. So I can't go to each program and tell you exactly. So scholars who wish to enroll in additional graduate program may apply to KHS to receive additional funding up to maximum of 3 years. This additional funding is not guaranteed. Okay, if a scholar is admitted to a degree program that exceeds 3 years, such as MD, PhD, or a Stanford dual or joint degree program, then funding is based on the graduate degree program's standard funding commitment. This varies by department and school as indicated in the chart below. Please contact the graduate program with specific questions about their funding. Okay, you can look at this. What is not covered? And you can see for MDs, medical school, okay, what is not covered. So now, but this is not all. This is just about the funding package, what you will receive, as you can see here. Okay, now let's look at before you apply, what are the things you should know? Okay, now before you apply, it says why Knight Hennessy Scholars, and this is important, so just read through that. Okay, why? So join a multidisciplinary, multicultural community of graduate students united by independence of thoughts, purposeful leadership, and civic mindset. And these are the three criteria they look at for you to be selected for this scholarship. Okay, why the Knight Hennessy Scholars? Now, if you come to this, and this is basically the answer, why KHS. As you consider whether Knight Hennessy Scholars is the right complement to your Stanford graduate studies, we invite you to explore why we exist, who are we, what we do, where we do it, and how we financially support you. We also encourage you to consider the benefits of joining a multidisciplinary and multicultural cohort. A multicultural cohort, nearly 3,000 graduate students enroll at Stanford annually. Next year, up to 100 future global leaders will be Knight Hennessy Scholars. So meaning 100 students will be selected for this. Knight Hennessy Scholars span all 7 schools at the university and bring a wide array of diverse academic experience prior to enrolling at Stanford. Knight Hennessy Scholars are surrounded by fellow Stanford graduate students solving complex problems from different disciplinary approach, a multicultural cohort. Okay, the Knight Hennessy Scholars have lived, studied, and worked in a wide array of communities and cities, college and university companies and organizations throughout the world. Knight Hennessy Scholars also bring varied cultural perspective based on but not limited to sex and gender identity, race and ethnicity, sexual orientation, religion, socioeconomic status, veteran status, and more. So it doesn't matter. Each course includes a breadth of background, beliefs, lived experience, and aspiration. This is a multicultural community united by independence of thoughts, purposeful leadership, and civic mindset. Join an info session. This is so important. So just click on this information section. Join them and listen to the past cohorts, what they will tell you. Apply to join 2025 cohorts. Now, before we go there, let's look at the eligibility criteria for this scholarship. Now, this is very important. Knight Hennessy Scholars has no restrictions based on age, college or university, field of study or career aspiration. We encourage citizens and residents of all countries to apply. We do not require application to seek endorsement from college. We do not require applicants to seek endorsement from college, universities, or other institutions. Additionally, there are no quotes by discipline or program. I guess that's clear. Okay, so there are 2 baseline eligibility requirements. The first one is your admission to Stanford. Of course, so before you can be considered for the scholarship, you must have been admitted to Stanford or receive an offer letter from Stanford. Okay, now the next one, your undergraduate degree date. There is a date. You must have graduated or earned your degree by 2018 or later. So let me just go through it. Okay, requirement 1, admission to Stanford. First, in addition to applying to Knight Hennessy Scholars, you must apply to be accepted by and enroll in a full-time Stanford graduate degree program, including but not limited to DMA, JDMA, MBA, MD, MFA, and so on, MS, PhD programs. You must meet at least one of the following 4 conditions. You are applying separately but concurrently to KHS and full-time Stanford graduate degree program. Short that you will start both in the same year. What does this mean? If you're a new student in your country, you want to apply for this scholarship, you're gonna apply to Stanford University, but at the same time apply for this scholarship. okay, at the same academic year. So that's the first requirement, and it must be a full-time program. Or the next one, so remember one of these. So this is basically for new students coming in, incoming students. You have already been offered and deferred admission to a full-time, okay, fine. So this one, the first one simply means that even if you've not received an offer letter, you can still apply. So concurrently at the same time, okay? You have already been offered or deferred admission to a full-time Stanford graduate program and will apply to KCS so that you will start both in the same academic year. So meaning you've already received an offer letter, okay, or defer an offer letter. And now you are applying for the Knight Hennessy Scholars. But of course, the program and the Knight Hennessy Scholars have to start at the same period, okay, same year. You are a current Stanford graduate student who will apply to add a second full-time Stanford graduate degree program, so that you will start both KHS and new program. So you've already maybe graduated or you're going to graduate, okay, let's say next year. And because you don't want to sit, you want to apply for this other scholarship and continue with another graduate program, then you also qualify, okay? You're a current PhD student in the first year of enrollment, okay? Anyways, please note that the following graduate degree programs are not eligible. So if you're applying for the honors cooperative program, you are not. Masters of Library Arts, you are not. Doctorate of Science of Law, you are not. Current Stanford students applying for a terminal graduate study, you can see here. Now requirement 2, undergraduate. Second, you must have earned in January 2018 or later. So when we say, of course, later, 2019 onwards. If we say earlier, then it has to be 2017 on below. Okay, bachelor's degree or its equivalent from a university or college recognized standing. To apply to join the course in 2025, you must have earned your first bachelor's degree by January 2018 or later. Okay, so now they have exception. Basically, for applicants who serve in the military, we extend the eligibility window by 2 years. In acknowledgement of longer service commitment, you must have earned your degree in January 2016 or later to enroll in 2025. Okay, so I think that's, now you can check your eligibility by just answering this question, basically. Okay, now there are frequently asked questions here, but I don't want to go to these questions, okay, or go through them, but they are very important because they will help you. Okay, these are very important. Just look at these questions, okay? Now, the next thing I want us to look at is the criteria. Of course, I have mentioned this one. Okay, now, so let's look at the criteria. It's here, eligibility, and this is criteria. Let's just click on this. Now, our criteria clarify what we seek in your application, help you assess your alignment with our values, and prepare you to demonstrate the criteria in your application. This is important. There is neither a typical nor a prototypical Knight Hennessy scholar, okay, to say, okay, this is the person we look up to. No. As an example, no. Each cohort is diverse by design. Everybody is different. No two candidates are equally strong across all criteria, definitely, and you may demonstrate different strengths in different ways. As we evaluate and select Knight Hennessy scholars, we look for evidence of 3 criteria. This is important. Now, independence of thought, meaning you're someone who think out of the box, okay? Okay, you are independent in terms of your thinking. You don't depend on other people for you to think, okay? Now we seek visionary thinkers who are curious, open-minded. Open-minded, you are ready to learn from other people. Analytical, or take other ideas. Eager for cross-cultural perspective and genuinely excited to boldly and creatively address our world's important challenges. Now, first one, under independence of thought, you demonstrate intellectual ability and clear thinking. But don't be carried, or maybe this scares you, okay, any of these. If you know you have the ability, because I know these websites or this scholarship, the way they paint things, you feel like I'm not fit for this scholarship. So you demonstrate intellectual ability and clear thinking. You communicate clearly based on reflection and introspection. You seek out new knowledge that's open-minded, perspective, and experience. Make sense of ambitious circumstances. Generate ideas to solve problems. So that's the first thing when you are what they look at in application. Purposeful leadership. We seek courageous leaders who are ethical, decisive, resilient, driven to achieve meaningful results, and motivated to aspire others to effect positive change at scale. Now, meaning you achieve impactful results and you have to show. Leaders is not about being appointed. What did you do in your role? What are the initiatives? Confront challenges with courage, perspective, and resilience. Includes and aspire others to effect change, make decisions in accordance with values. Now, the last one is civic mindset. We seek collaborative community leaders who are humble, empathic, trustworthy, oriented to act in services of others, and deeply passionate about contributing to greater good. Demonstrate humanity, kindness, and integrity and accountability. Makes a habit of serving and helping others. Thoughtful and considerate of others' perspective. So you will not see things like this in your application, but based on how, maybe if you're asked to write about anything, how you put your lines will show that yes, you've meet out all these criteria. So it's important for you to have this in mind when making any write-up. Okay? Embrace differences and celebrate diverse opinions and experience. Strive to make our world a better place. We find evidence of this selection criteria throughout your application. So you see, if you are invited to participate in your video statement during the finalist experience, fine, that's another area. We look forward to getting to know you, including what you have done, who are who you are now, and what you aspire to do in the future. Apply to join 2025 cohort. Now, the last thing before we close this video is basically the deadline for you to apply for this scholarship. So now if we go back before you apply, you see a deadline, date and deadline, and it should be October. Granted, our date and deadline help you. Now, it might not be the same for you to be admitted to Stanford, and that's the other thing you should look at, okay? You submit an application to Knight Hennessy Scholars. The Knight Hennessy Scholars application deadline is October 9, 2024, 1 p.m. Pacific time. The KHR application deadline is the same for all applicants, regardless of the Stanford graduate degree program to which you will apply. So it might depend, but what they are saying here, whether you're applying for any program at Stanford, your application, the application deadline is October 9 for this particular scholarship. Okay. Now, Stanford graduate degree programs, you will submit a completely separate application to your Stanford graduate degree program. Unlike the KHS application, which has a uniform deadline for everyone, the Stanford application deadline varies by program. Check with your desired program. So you can click on the program and check. Okay. So now, the other thing, of course, I have shown you the requirements, but these requirements are different from each of the programs you will apply to, or the admission requirement to Stanford, in fact. So you have to check, and I've made series of videos how to navigate university websites. Okay, this video is getting too long already. So guys, please be sure, and if you've done any test scores, these are so important. As you can see, this scholarship does not require anything like your test scores and all of that, but for you to be admitted to Stanford, it might be different. And I don't want to go into details because that's not the essence of this video. But if you click on the programs or the admission requirement to Stanford, you will see the criteria. Okay? So do yourself due diligence and check the university, check the program, and see the admission requirement. If you meet the requirement for you to be admitted, you're already one step ahead. or closer to this scholarship. Now it depends again if you've done any test scores, other things like GRE is going to help you a lot, or GMAT, okay? TOEFL, all of these exams depends on where you are coming from. Okay, if you are from an English country, most often, trust me, you don't need this test. Okay, but if you've taken them, it's an advantage. Okay, so guys, thank you so much, and I hope to see you again. Please, for this channel, we upload videos Mondays or a short anything Mondays and Thursdays. So look out and be part of the family by subscribing to this channel. Please share for others to see this video. Thank you so much. And I hope you get to your dream sooner than later. Bye bye.